Hello, my name is Bill, and got a few tips here for digging a sandpoint well. I know you've probably watched many videos as I have, so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and go through the whole process. You know what you need. And so first thing I discovered was that I was going to drive it with this post hole digger, and I discovered that the cap would not fit inside the post hole digger, so I had to grind it down. So I ground down about 1/8 of an inch all around so it would go inside the digger. That's my first tip. Also, as you can probably see, I used grease. I greased up the post hole digger and the cap. Hey, every little bit helps. Secondly, I noticed that as I was about to drive this one into the ground, I noticed you've got this sharp edge on the coupling here. Now, if you're trying to drive this thing into the ground, you're getting down 25 feet down. Every little bit helps. You got 5 couplings that sharp edge may add up. Now, you notice that edge doesn't even, it's not even adjacent to the thread, so it's really not providing any structural strength to the joint. It was probably just left there as a part of the manufacturing process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind off this flange here, this edge, and I'm going to make this tapered so it's going to slide into the ground better, just on the bottom part, of course. Here we are in my messy garage. I'm just going to clamp it in the vise like this, and then just use this angle grinder with a grinding wheel on it to grind it down. Okay, so you do about 1/4 of the diameter at a time, then just turn it a 1/4 turn and start grinding again. Okay, so it doesn't have to be pretty, but what you're basically doing is you're just taking down the thickness of this outer rim, the outer edge of this rim here, the thickness that you see at the very end of the pipe, just basically taking that down. Okay, so that may not look like a big deal, but you know what, it might help. And once you get a 10 or 20 feet of pipe in the ground, it's a little late to start thinking, gee, I wish I had ground down those corners, you know, it might have gone better, because you've gone to all this trouble, so why not take a little extra time to make things go smoother? Can't hurt. So now I have to try to take out of the hole this coupling that I haven't ground down yet, if I can do that. You might want to take your BAR, your big ass wrench. Actually, in this case, it's already loose. In fact, you're going to want to take your wrench and maybe every few minutes retighten, because it's constantly going to be, the joints are constantly going to be loosening up on you. Oh, by the way, BAR, I know it's not how it's spelled, but in fact, I almost won a spelling bee in elementary school. It came down to me and this one girl and me, and it was my turn. The teacher was a woman. Okay, I think you can see where this is going. So she gives me the word women. So it's women. Oh, W-E-M-E-N. Well, that was the end of it. Anyway, well, it's been a love-hate relationship ever since. But anyway, okay, so let's remove this thing. Easy by hand. Okay, so I got it out. Now, I'm not going to replace it with the one that I just removed. I'm going to replace it with a brand new coupling and a brand new pipe, because I might have bent. That's another problem you'll run into, that these kind of pipes bend a little bit, or the coupling may bend. So I'm going to start off again with a brand new coupling and pipe, and save this one that's already been banged for later near the top. Okay, here's another little tip You make a mark near the top of your pipe, because when you're raising up that post hole driver, when you raise it up, you can't tell when you're getting near the top of the thing. You want to raise it as high as you can without slipping it off. So I just make a mark here so I can tell when I'm getting near the top. This is just called a paint marker. I'll leave a link to it in the description where I got mine, but you can get them on Amazon or whatever. Okay, so I got that off, but I'm going to reapply the dope before I put the new coupling back on. It's like the old saying, but remember, not on the last few threads. Whoops, I got a little too close there. I'll wipe it off. Like the old saying, don't be a dope, use the dope. The actual full saying is, don't be a dope, use the dope, but not on the last few threads. But that's just not as catchy, but anyway. Okay, this is the stuff I use. So I just happen to find it at Home Depot. So they can't spell either, so anyway. As long as it's not poisonous. Okay, here's an important tip involving the pipe itself. Now, in one of the videos, a guy was holding this pipe very like this, only it had in big blue letters right on the pipe, it said well pipe in blue letters. And he said, I got this, it was someplace like Tractor Supply or something like that where he got this well pipe. Well, I have searched the internet, Googled everything, looked high and low. I could not find anything called well pipe. So I ended up buying, it's called Schedule 40 galvanized pipe. It's very heavy duty. I'm sure this is the same as the well pipe, but my guess is that it stopped making it specifically labeled as well pipe because people weren't buying it. They're saying, well, I'm not digging a well, I don't need this well pipe, but it's just pipe. It's just, so don't, if you can't find well pipe, just buy regular 1 1/4 inch, in this case galvanized. It's called Schedule 40, very heavy duty pipe, and that's the pipe. So okay, so I'm putting the dope on the new pipe. Remember, don't leave the last 2 or 3 threads clear, because they say you'll be tasting the dope. We don't want. Okay, so it's going to be driven into the ground this way, so I want my tapered end downward. Okay, this time I do want to tighten it with the 2 wrenches. You do need 2 wrenches. Okay, this time I do want to use the 2 BARs just to make sure. I mean, I could count on this being tightened when I screw the thing into the ground, but why take any chances? Might as well try to get it nice and tight. Okay, let's see if I can get this started. Get this party started. Okay, feels like it's going. Okay, good. Okay, put my drive cap back on. I just want to leave the grease right on it. What the heck? Just have to grease it up again. Tighten it up. It's always a good idea to have these joints tight so that there's no slop and probably less damage to the threads. Get it on pretty tight. Alright, I'm ready to start whacking again. Hey, then you want to put your mark so you know when you're getting to the top. I didn't leave enough length on the other one. I'm going to go more like a foot on this one. Or, well, whatever that is. So you'll know when you're getting to the top. Okay, here's wacky tip number 3 or 4 or whatever it is. Okay, to get the maximum driving force behind this thing, it's pretty heavy as it is, but this is called a dead blow hammer. This is a 45-ounce dead blow hammer. You can get them at Home Depot. I'm actually going to tape this right to the top of this thing to give it more oomph. A dead blow hammer has metal particles inside like beads, and it keeps the hammer from rebounding. It just concentrates all the force into the blow and not on the rebound. So I'm going to just tape this to the top of this. Okay, now we're going to tape this dead blow hammer right onto the top of this thing, or the post hole driver. Don't put the handle where it's going to hit you. Put it off to the side here. Now, this may look a little silly, but don't be afraid to look silly. Whatever works, do it. I was working on a job with my brother. I was helping him out with his tree business, and he was over some power lines, and he cut this branch off, and the branch fell right across the 2 high voltage lines at the top of the poles of the wires, and so it was starting to smoke, you know, and so I took this other pieces of branch that were laying around, and I was throwing them up in the air trying to dislodge the branch from the power lines, and he says, "Stop doing that, you look silly." Well, I stopped, and about a minute later it started smoking. About a minute after that, it was literally like a bolt of lightning. It was as if a bolt of lightning had struck right near us. He blew a 50,000 amp fuse. The fire department showed up. The police showed up. The electric company showed up. There were lights flashing everywhere. So, should have said to him, "You look silly now, John." Oops. Anyway, whatever works. All right, there we have it. Maybe I'll put one more piece of tape on here. Be on the safe side. This is Gorilla Tape. Put one more on there. Put it nice and tight. Okay. Should do it. Okay. Time to start whacking again. Okay, here's my final tip. I think it's number 5, I don't know. Don't try to do this all in one shot. Set yourself a goal, a reasonable goal. My goal is I'm going to try to do a foot a day. Or say you're going to do it 10 minutes a day. Like I'm getting up there, you know, I don't feel like doing this all day, but okay, so just do a reasonable goal, like 1 foot per day. Then if it takes you a month, so it takes you a month. Just pretend this is that lady who gypped me out of that spelling bee. I know what you're thinking. Well, she probably just had a list of words, and that just happened to be the next word on the list. Yeah. Well, if you believe that, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Yeah, they stick together. It's like the freaking mafia. Anyway, all right. I'll let you know how I do. Whether I strike water or not, I think it'll be a miracle if I strike water. But I believe in miracles, so. But anyway, I'll let you know how I do. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good day.